I'm curious because I know my audience is going to be listening in on this, and you provide such a different perspective because you've been doing it for so long. What would you tell people that are afraid of creating content because they feel like people are going to judge them or people are going to hate on them? And how would you practically tell them that they could get over it? Or do you ever get over it? Tell me.
Well, I think there's some creators and people in the industry who they literally do no wrong. They're like, you can't hate on them, in my opinion, yet they still get hate.
Hated on, yeah.
The people who literally don't deserve any hate will still get some form of hate or negativity. So it is just a price you have to pay. Anybody who is going to create content and put themselves out there, you are going to get some negative feedback. And that is just the way it is. It's a process of you having to develop thick skin, right? If you become famous or well known, you just have to be able to handle it. And it is at the beginning, it's difficult because what I would always do is I would always like to look at the comments. I'd like to see what people are doing. And I remember when I started, I made it my mission to reply to everybody's question.
Yeah, me too.
And then it just got overwhelmingly out of hand and I couldn't reply to everyone. And then, there would be some people who would say something negative or pick something out about you, which would be an insecurity or you wouldn't even think it was a thing.
Yeah,
but because
funny.
because I remember there was one point when I was balding, I was losing my hair pretty badly. I think this was like 2018. I mean, 2018, I was really clinging on to nothing.
Sure.
And that was all, like, literally all the comments was like, oh, Mike's losing his hair, like, blah, 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 shave it off, whatever. And I was just like, I can't even make a video to try and help people. Like, people are literally commenting on the way I look.
Right.
So, it's just, people are always waiting to get you for something. And for me as well, like, I think I'm one of the few who's managed to be around for a long time and I haven't really stepped out of line or had to go through a period of adversity for fucking up or doing something wrong. Like, I've been very consistent and I've not screwed people over. I've not done anything bad. So I think in that sense, I'm quite fortunate.
Yeah.
But usually if you look at people's timelines, if they've been making content for, a long period of time, usually people mess up at some point. They either say something, they do something, they get involved with something, or get into like some scammy crypto project and they just destroy their reputation.
Yeah.
So it's, I think if you're genuinely a good person,
Right.
then
agree.
you will be okay. But if you are a scumbag,
People will know
eventually you will show your true colors, you'll reveal your mask, and then people will get you for it.
It's such a good point. I remember people would ask me all the time, like, how do you deal with the hate comment? I think with the hate comment, you've put it perfectly, which is the idea that you will never be judged by somebody doing more than you. It will always be those that are doing less than you. So when those people were commenting about you balding, perhaps, like, those individuals were definitely not creating content, right? Like, those individuals weren't actually doing something that was a leap of faith like you were and trying to help people. It happens across the board in every capacity, right? And I also had done a survey now about like once every 3 months for the last 3 years. And I've always asked people, how many of you guys want to start creating content? And I would do these polls, right? And the average has come out to be like 80% of people want to create content, 20% don't. That means that those hate comments, 80% of them likely have wanted to create content. They just don't want to see you succeed, because if you do, it validates that they're doing something wrong. And I think it's such a good point here also to the aspect, if you are a good human being, don't worry so much, right?
Yeah.
People are only going to get you if you are a bad human being and then that gets exposed. But if you're somebody that can stay aligned with what your values are over the long term, you'll be fine.
Yeah. And usually you never see a hater doing better than you.
Ever.
Yeah.